They say money can't buy loyalty, but what if it builds a fortress, raises an army? Not for a country, for one man. He's not just rich, he's untouchable. A paranoid billionaire with a force stronger than some nations. Private jets, armored convoys, ex-special forces from 5 continents, surveillance systems that rival governments. And at the center, a man so powerful no threat is too small, and no move is beyond his reach. This isn't fiction, this is the private army of the world's richest man. Welcome to his invisible empire. Most billionaires hire security. He built an empire not to protect a country, not to guard a company, but to defend one person, himself. Because when you're worth over $200 billion, you stop depending on nations. You start acting like one. He doesn't trust governments, doesn't rely on embassies, don't wait for justice. Instead, he created his own version of all three, privately, silently, and without borders. His personal security network rivals those of small countries, recruited from elite forces across the world. Ex-MI6, CIA operatives, Mossad agents, former Navy SEALs, French Foreign Legion, even Spetsnaz from Russia. These aren't rent-a-cop bodyguards. These are war-hardened professionals trained in espionage, tactical extraction, close-quarter combat, and cyber defense. Each team is layered. Tier 1 monitors digital activity, emails, data breaches, online chatter. Tier 2 controls physical logistics, safe routes, secured buildings, armored fleets. Tier Dre, rapid response. Think private SWAT, trained to deploy in under 4 minutes, armed to the teeth. Before he visits any location, a private advance team arrives days in advance. They scan blueprints, sweep for bugs, install hidden surveillance, and run mock evacuations. Restaurants are booked and cleared. Hotels are locked down. Cell towers are jammed. Traffic lights are overridden if needed. Even weather conditions are simulated to anticipate potential interruptions. Every person that gets within 10 feet of him is pre-vetted. Whether it's a journalist, a waiter, or a fellow billionaire, the background check starts weeks before the meeting. Friends sign NDAs. Employees sign lifetime contracts. Leaks aren't just fired, they disappear. His homes are fortresses, windows that can take sniper fire, doors that can't be rammed by tanks, hidden exits behind bookshelves, floors with biometric locks, drones overhead, facial recognition on every wall. Every property has its own encrypted command room with live feeds from every camera. Smart systems detect motion, thermal heat, and audio anomalies. In some of his compounds, guards rotate in shifts no longer than 6 hours to prevent fatigue and keep alertness high. Entry requires a 3-factor authentication system, biometric scan, passcode, and live verbal phrase. Inside, furniture is reinforced. Walls double as blast barriers. There's even electromagnetic shielding to prevent hacking from nearby frequencies. And it doesn't stop there. He has private jets that double as mobile safe houses, each equipped with counter-missile systems, encrypted satellite phones, and in-flight bunkers. He has custom escape plans for every continent, even submarines docked off private coastlines for silent departure, multiple passports, decoy identities, hidden safe houses disguised as museums, embassies, and villas. If an attack breaks out mid-flight, his aircraft can divert to a private airstrip in under 20 minutes, where another jet waits. In drills, he's extracted within 3 minutes flat. Most people sleep in bedrooms. He sleeps under classified protocols, behind 3 security doors, with biometric locks and AI monitoring his vital signs. Because this man doesn't wait for threats. He eliminates them before they appear. He doesn't run from danger. He buys the terrain. He rewrites the rules. This isn't paranoia. This is preparation, executed with military precision, not to wage war, but to ensure that no one and nothing can ever touch him. This is what security looks like. When you no longer feel safe in the world, you just buy it. He doesn't fight battles. He ends them before they begin. This man doesn't use his private army to survive. He uses it to dominate, because when you control not just the guards, but the intelligence behind them, you control reality. His empire isn't protected by luck. It's built on surveillance, prediction, and silent pressure. Behind every deal, every handshake, every smile, there's data. Thousands of terabytes of private information gathered from satellites, drones, and human surveillance units. You don't see them, but they see you. He owns satellites, launches his own surveillance tech, commands private data farms capable of scanning the digital footprints of millions in minutes. Competitors are watched, employees are mapped, enemies are profiled and neutralized before they can act. His cybersecurity team? Former NSA coders, ex-hackers, and rogue white hats. They don't just defend his systems, they infiltrate others. Company bids, political movements, legal filings. He sees them before they become public. If a threat arises, it's silenced before sunrise. Every negotiation he enters, already rehearsed, because he knows what the other side wants, fears, and can't afford to lose. His team simulates conversations, forecasts reactions, and feeds him outcomes in real time. Some say he's never walked into a deal blind, ever, but that's just the surface. Some insiders whisper about operations that never reach the news, secret missions disguised as business trips, private jets landing in unstable nations with ex-intelligence agents on board. A rival suddenly withdrew, a boardroom coup that ends before it starts. Coincidence? Maybe. But the pattern is clear. Those who challenge him vanish from relevance. And when scandals erupt, he's nowhere to be found. Not because he's hiding, but because his fingerprints were never there to begin with. Every email sent through encrypted tunnels. Every transaction filtered through sick shells. Every voice call is cloaked in synthetic interference. Even his meetings are staged. Fake rooms, soundproof domes. Sometimes even the staff are actors hired for optics. What looks like a casual brunch may actually be a simulation of corporate warfare. Nothing is left to chance. This isn't business, it's a battle. And in this world, information is the deadliest weapon. He doesn't win with lawyers, he wins with leverage, real invisible leverage. Enough to collapse a merger, freeze a billion-dollar account, or sink a competitor's stock without a trace. If his first section was security, this is domination. He doesn't react, he predicts, he doesn't respond, he preempts. That's the difference between being rich and being untouchable. And that's what makes him more than a billionaire. It makes him a sovereign state. He doesn't live in homes, he lives in vaults, fortresses carved into the earth, invisible from the sky, guarded like nuclear sites. These aren't mansions. These are militarized zones designed to outlast war, disaster, or revolution. Each one is custom built, some underground, some inside mountains, some floating off remote coastlines. You won't find them on maps. You won't fly over them on commercial routes. Radar can't scan them. Satellites can't lock on. That's not an accident. It's the plan. Each location includes perimeter defenses, motion sensors, drone patrols, AI-guided turrets that activate before you even reach the gates. Inside, reinforced concrete, anti-drone netting, underground bunkers with steel doors thicker than a bank vault. He sleeps beneath layers of coded security protocols. Behind him, armories stocked like small countries, emergency food supplies, 5 years minimum, independent water purification systems, oxygen tanks, backup generators that can power a hospital. In one location, there's even a launch bay for vertical takeoff aircraft. If the world ends, he's not running, he's relaunching. And these fortresses aren't just defense, they're command centers. Each has a situation room, full satellite feeds, and global intelligence lines, staffed 24/7 by rotating intelligence teams, real-time threat analysis, simulated emergency responses, custom protocols depending on political climate, currency volatility, even solar storms. Outside, it may look like paradise, lakes, forests, private beaches. Inside, it's a fortress. No art unless it's bulletproof, no furniture unless it's fireproof, no hallway without 2 exits. The decor hides defense, the luxury masks lockdown. Staff are handpicked, trained in weapons handling, crisis response, and information lockdown. They operate on code phrases, rotating schedules, and anti-surveillance uniforms. Some are ghosts, people who no longer exist on public record. Every inch of these compounds is built to disappear. If compromised, a self-destruct sequence can destroy all digital evidence, erase hard drives, melt secure doors. A total wipe, activated with one code, spoken by one voice. Because this is more than protection. It's permanent. It's the idea that no matter what happens in the world, he stays untouched, unseen, alive. And that's why no one ever truly knows where he is. Because when your home is a fortress and your fortress can fly, float, or disappear, you are no longer a man. You're a myth with a trigger finger. This is the final layer. Not security, not surveillance. Sanctuary. You've just witnessed the invisible machinery of one of the most powerful men alive. Not a politician, not a general, a billionaire with the reach of a superpower and the silence of a ghost. If this story opened your eyes, don't scroll past. Like this video. Share it with someone who still believes wealth is just about yachts and watches. And comment below, power in silence. Because in a world where control hides behind code, money, and secrecy, the truth is the rarest weapon of all. Subscribe for more untold stories, and remember, some empires don't need a country, just a fortress, a shadow, and absolute control.